Hello, everyone.
Today, we will immerse ourselves in a boiling cauldron of hormones and absurd behavior with a teen comedy. This is a story about how a shy young man decided that prom night was the perfect time to change his life and the lives of others. The main character is Dennis Cooperman, a model student and shy guy. He has been hopelessly in love with the school goddess Beth Cooper for a long time, whose popularity is growing faster than gas prices. Dennis's best friend, the slightly eccentric Richie, advises him to take a risk and confess his love. On stage at the prom, Dennis first utters a few pompous words about friendship, gratitude, and other things that no one is listening to. Then he suddenly switches to truth mode and blurts out, "I love you, Beth Cooper." The microphone, if it could, would have run away from the podium. But he doesn't stop there. He starts publicly roasting his classmates. He says that anorexia isn't cool. Richie is a selfish girl. Greg, according to Dennis, is big and dumb, and was probably raised by bears. And Kevin, Beth's boyfriend, is a pathetic guy who has no chance with an older girl, except maybe the librarian with bad eyesight. Teacher Dr. Gleason panics and interrupts the performance, but the words have already been said, and they can't be taken back. Dennis explains that it's all a side effect of love. Beth, to everyone's surprise, says it was weird but sweet. Rich, of course, exclaims, "I'm not gay." As if that's the first thing the audience cares about after everything that's been said. Dennis seizes the moment and invites Beth to his party. While the guys are getting ready for the party, Dennis's parents are very frank with him. His father gives him a bottle of champagne and tells him where the condoms are hidden. Just in case the evening doesn't go according to plan, but it will still be fun. At the same time, Rich's father sends his son a bill for $230,000, possibly for moral damages.
In the evening, Beth and her friends, Camille and Tree, burst into the house.
However, the party consists of 6 people and looks more like a school sociology project than a party. The guys are nervous, sweating, and talking nonsense as if it's their first date ever. The champagne moment arrives, and as is customary in comedies, someone inevitably gets hit in the face with a cork. Dennis is lucky. Beth sits on him and calms him down. But the idyll doesn't last long. Kevin and his gang of thugs burst into the house and start smashing everything in sight. When Kevin sees Beth's poster in Dennis's room, he completely loses his mind. His eyes burn, his fists clench, and his head rings. And so, an epic battle unfolds on screen. One character is armed with a laser sword, the other with skeletal hands. It looks like Star Wars filmed by a student on an iPhone. Rich, as is customary in such situations, switches to coward mode and jumps out the window. Dennis doesn't stand a chance against him, but Beth saves him. Then she tells him to run. The bullies immediately give chase, and Beth comes to the rescue again. The girl drives like Schumacher on energy drinks, and Rich remembers that she was the worst student in driving school. Dennis thanks her for saving him, and Beth honestly admits that she just wanted to save Kevin from jail. Beth throws away the phone so they can't be tracked and stops at a gas station. Standard stop, beer, chips, and a surprised cashier who suspects that the girl is not 18, but 37. But Beth is a master negotiator. One kiss with tongue, and she doesn't even have to show her ID. Meanwhile, Dennis sits in the car, silently losing his self-respect and any hope for a decent first love. They move to the woods, beer, a bonfire, and attempts to be adults. But opens a bottle with her teeth, and Dennis's tooth can't take it and flies straight into the girl's face. While the 3 go off into the bushes to have fun, Beth learns that Dennis is going to study at medical school. Unfortunately, the girl doesn't have the money to pay for her studies. Under the influence of adrenaline, Beth turns off the headlights and speeds off into the darkness. At the last moment, the headlights come on, and they crash into Dennis's parents' car, who, judging by the look on their faces, were clearly not expecting guests, especially with their pants down. At a fancy party at Quelly's house, Dennis feels like a school volunteer at a satanic ball. Butch chats happily with the guys, while Dennis heads for the bathroom but bumps into Greg, the guy he publicly called big and dumb. It turns out he was right. Greg cries, hugs Dennis, and admits that he has anger issues. As the boys are about to leave, they are stopped by Wally, who kisses Kevin, but didn't expect that from his boyfriend. Seeing Dennis, Kevin flies into a rage again and is about to beat him up. They are stopped by the gym teacher, who asks them not to hurt each other too badly. Greg comes to Dennis's aid, apparently having improved his boxing skills. He knocks Kevin and his friends out. But Kevin is stubborn. He gets up and grabs Dennis. Butt and Greg attack him again. But the adrenaline doesn't stop there. The boys go to their school and end up in the gym. Cheerleaders are dancing there, and Rich joins them. For an extroverted teenager, it's like a dream come true. But remembers her youth, and real tears appear in her eyes. After that, everyone runs to the showers. Dennis is shy at first, but then he goes too. But smiles, takes off his clothes. The guy starts to have a system crash. But at the most important moment, Kevin and his gang burst in like the final boss. Rich jumps up and, armed with a wet towel, turns into an Avenger. He destroys everyone. He literally beats the villains so badly that they forget why they came. Final scene, the guys jump into the car Kevin stole earlier. This time, victory is theirs. Inside them is love, friendship, experience, and maybe a few pieces of cow patties. Just when it seems like the madness is over, Trish suggests going to her father's country house, either to relax or to completely destroy the remaining neurons. But Dennis, exhausted by romance, tragically moans that he just wants to go home. At this point, but can't take it anymore. Do you even remember how you started all this mess by confessing your love in front of the whole school? Meanwhile, the guy has a nosebleed, either from stress or from an excess of female attention.
Tripulaut à tampon.
His friends also decide to air out his shirt, which flies out the window with a dramatic flourish. Bate, without wasting a second, gives the guy his poncho. And then Dennis confesses that he said those words at prom because it was his last chance. In the morning, they find the shirt, and the group in the cabin raises a toast to the best night of their lives. Some have found love, some have found self-confidence, and some have found a way to open bottles with their teeth.
Denny and Bet grade the down.
It's time for touching revelations. Bet confesses that she's afraid her life will become boring. But Dennis looks at her and says that she is the most alive person he has ever met. The moment is so tender that even the mosquitoes stop biting. They kiss. And Rich, judging by the sounds coming from the neighboring hut, is not bored with the girls either.
In the morning, the guys drive Denny home.
He says goodbye to Butt, wants to kiss her on the cheek, but she, like a true romantic comedy heroine, pulls him toward her. But thanks him for his love, and Dennis finally feels that it wasn't all for nothing.